So, a few months back, I had a bachelorette trip to Puerto Rico. Two of my bridesmaids were able to go, and my mother and sister came as well. I asked my mom to be the maid of honor since I thought it would help create a closer bond between us while getting ready for my wedding. The goal was to have everyone get along and just have a good time. I should have known this was going to be a disaster. A couple of weeks before, my mother started bashing all of my bridesmaids and friends, with a particular focus on one who was actually going on the trip. I ended up paying for my mom, sister, and my own flight to ease the burden on my mom having to pay for both herself and my sister. The plan was that my mother was going to pay for her and my sister's hotel. My friend reached out to everyone to try and plan something for me without my involvement. I would like to add that I planned the bachelorette trip as the bride. When my friend reached out to my mom and called her, she wanted to help as much as she could. My friend is actually Puerto Rican, so she was going to be a huge help with this trip. At the time, I did not know about this call. My mother called me at 3 a.m. after having that call with my friend that day to tell me she had not been fulfilling her maid of honor duties, because she was observing everyone and everything. She then said, as the maid of honor, she should be planning the bachelorette trip. I found this conversation odd, but I said okay. I was relieved that she finally stepped up to help me with the trip. My mom did say before the call ended not to tell my friend she talked to me about this, which I also found odd. The next day, my friend called me and told me that she wanted to make sure I had a great bachelorette party, and to remember that it's all about me. She wanted to help me with the excursions I wanted to do, and I told her my mom also wanted to plan so they could work together. I saw my mother the next day, and she went on a rant that my friend was disrespectful. She said she was not letting a little girl control her on this trip, and made it seem like something was wrong with my friend, and that she did not want to wear her stupid t-shirts during the trip. She started raging, telling me she didn't want to go in the rental car with my friend and wanted to take an Uber. Her exact words were, "Your friend is disrespectful, and I will beat this dumb B-word sideways." This automatically started stressing me out. She said she didn't like my friend, and that she was disrespectful and has mental issues. I ended up calling my friend and asked her if she could cancel the rental, but she said she could not. I created a group chat for those attending the trip, and my friend was asking questions about the activities we were going to do and how excited she was. My mom and sister were instantly annoyed. My mom was supposed to plan the activities for our trip to Puerto Rico. She refused to let my friend do it or participate in helping, despite my friend being Puerto Rican. Fast forward to the first day of the bachelorette trip. When we arrived, my mom's luggage that had all of her toiletries was missing, and she was upset about it. When we got to the hotel, I let everyone rest since it was an early flight. My friend arrived a little later in the day, and I met up with her and another friend in the lobby. I called my mom and sister to meet us downstairs so we could go with them to replace the lost toiletries and have dinner. As my two friends and I were waiting, my mom came downstairs and stood behind my Puerto Rican friend, and mumbled out a greeting in a voice so low that my friend couldn't possibly have heard. I hinted to my friend that my mom was standing over and behind her while she was sitting on the lobby couch, which I thought was weird. She turned around and said hello, and my mom instantly said, "Okay, I'm leaving now. Go be with your friends." She literally ran off, and my sister did not say a word. When I tell you the energy was so off, you could cut the tension in the air with a knife. I asked my friend what was going on between her and my mom because something just felt really off. She told me she did not really know her, so she did not understand why. I decided to go to the bar with my friends and wait for my mom and sister to get back. 5 minutes later, I got a text from my mom saying, "Shame on you. You betrayed your family. You chose a nobody over your own family. I am disappointed, and your sister and I are out of the wedding." I responded and said that I did not and asked what the problem was. I was then ignored. I started crying hysterically because I did not want my bachelorette to be like this. My friends tried to cheer me up and took me out to dinner. I decided to let things cool off and try to smooth things over in the morning with my mom and sister. I went to my mom and sister's room, knocked on the door several times, and kept going back to knock on the door. I also called each of them, but there was no answer. I even waited around the lobby to see if I ran into them, but nothing happened. I called both of them again later in the afternoon, and finally, my sister picked up. I asked if they were okay and if we could squash whatever happened and move forward with the plans. I asked why they did not answer me for hours, and they said they were sleeping, which I knew was a lie because I heard someone moving around when I knocked earlier. My sister said they were not doing any of the activities that I wanted to do, and that they were having lunch but would not tell me where they were. That made me feel awful. My mom planned nothing that she said she was going to plan. My friend even texted and reached out to my mom, apologized for whatever my mom thought she did, and called, but my mom did not answer. My friend scrambled and tried to make the best of the rest of the trip for me while my mom and sister were MIA. The day before we had to leave and go home, my sister reached out to get their plane tickets, which I had purchased. I sent it to them and was immediately upset. My mom asked me to put my credit card down for her and my sister's hotel and said she would pay me back. I honestly think that she had no intention of paying me back because she is my mother. They ignored me during the entire trip, and now demanded their plane tickets. I decided to change my flight and leave earlier. I couldn't sit on the plane with my mom and sister and act like this was normal. My sister called and asked if I was going to get an Uber to the airport, and I told her no, I have a different flight. My mom finally appeared and called me, saying so many hurtful things. My mom told me I was always disloyal, how I interpreted everything wrong, I overthink, I don't care about her and my sister, how I was feeling is wrong, and called me a liar and hung up in my face. My friend started to tell me about the phone conversation she had with my mom prior. She didn't want to tell me out of respect for my mother, because my mom asked her not to disclose details about the phone conversation. My friend mentioned that my mom was talking badly about me, my fiancé's family, and how I was planning my wedding. My friend found herself in this awkward position. Ever since that trip, I have not spoken to my mom or sister, and they did not show up to my wedding. I only received a text from my sister, reminding me to pay both her and my mom's phone bills once a month, and that is it. Update 1. Thank you all for the advice, commentary, and input. I wanted to follow up on the original post that I made. So far, I have gone no contact with my mother and sister. I ended up getting a new phone line and phone number. I texted my sister to let her know I would no longer be paying for her or my mother's phone bill anymore. I then cut off that phone and moved on with my new phone line. I blocked and removed them from all social media as well. Once I did that, my mother decided to appear and attempt to call me at my job, stating that there was an emergency and she needed to speak with me. I told my colleague that I would not be answering the phone, there is no emergency, and do not answer my work phone line if she does call. After that, she has not made any more attempts. I believe she tried to call to bully me into paying their phone bill, and to try the guilt trip and shame me, as she attempted to do on my bachelorette trip, but I was not falling for it. I also cut off my sister's Apple Music, which I know she would be upset about, so that felt good. I also found out that my mother added her husband's phone installment plan to the bill a year ago without telling me, and that literally pushed me over the edge. I didn't notice it because it was an installment plan that only brought the bill up by $35, but that $35 a month adds up over time. This added up to me paying $500 before I cut everything off. I mean, who has their daughter paying for their husband's brand new iPhone 14? How does anyone sit there comfortably doing that to their own daughter? This, I will never understand. It has been 7 months since I decided to go no contact. I can say that my life has been more peaceful with no drama. It has brought me and my husband closer together. I can truly say I am happy and starting to get back to being myself again. My relationship with my mom and sister was toxic and put me in a really dark place. Everything that happened during that trip has opened my eyes, and I am looking forward to better things. I plan on redoing my bachelorette trip the right way sometime in the future.